We're now with the Historical Commission, and I should note the Vice Mayor is here and Councilman Bedney's here. And let me ask you to introduce yourself, your colleagues, and then make a presentation as to how your year's been and what your thoughts are on the budget.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. I'm Tim Walker, the Executive Director of the Metro Historical Commission and Metro Historic Zoning Commissions. And I'd like to introduce our Administrative Assistant, Yvonne Ogren. She's sitting to my right. And behind me are members of both our commissions, and they are Lula Brooks, Bob Allen, Renee Bell, Jim Hubler, Jim Forkham, Lynn McDonald, Don Cusick, and Vice Mayor George Cate.
Very good. Distinguished group. Strong.
Thank you. Well, 2011 was a year of many accomplishments for our department. I'd like to highlight a few. We co-sponsored the 31st Annual African American History and Culture Conference with Tennessee State University, which had a record-breaking attendance with over 350 people attending. We approved and installed 5 new historic markers and co-authored a nomination in the National Register of Historic Places for the RCA Studio B, the first recording studio for a major label in our city, built in 1956. We sponsored a number of talks and tours throughout the year, commemorating the sesquicentennial of the Civil War, and we partnered with the Davidson County historian, Dr. Carol Busey, to sponsor local classes on Nashville history. We've also completed a new Civil War walking tour brochure of downtown Nashville and a Battle of Nashville bikeway tour with support of Metro Public Works and Metro Greenways. With the help of Metro Council and the Metro Planning Commission, an ordinance was adopted that permits in local historic zoning districts detached accessory dwellings which are in character with their historic context. We continue to work with Metro agencies to evaluate and protect our county's historic resources, most visibly through the Metro Planning Commission's community plan updates and Section 106 review in their upcoming general plan, through MDHA's redevelopment district design review process, and through capital improvement projects with Metro Parks, Metro Water, General Services, Public Works, Metro Schools, and the Nashville Fire Department. We also continue to partner with local nonprofits to promote tourism and our city's rich history, architecture, and culture by co-sponsoring events such as the Nashville City Cemetery Association's Living History Tour, Memorial Day Dash, and monthly history walks, the Tennessee Historical Society's State History Day in conjunction with Metro Schools, fall festivals at Nashville Zoo's Grassmere, the Association for the Preservation of Tennessee Antiquities Buchanan Log House, and Germantown's Oktoberfest, through Habitat for Humanity's Reconstruct program, which renovates historic homes for needy families, and events at Two Rivers Mansion with their Friends group. I'd like to quickly note we have an event coming up in 2 weeks. We will co-host our 3rd Fort Nashboro Day with the DAR, the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Second Company reenactors and Metro Parks. It'll be on Saturday, April 14th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And actors will be in period costume, portraying life in the fort during the late 18th century. So it should be a day of fun and an educational experience. Moving on to challenges. In the coming year, I'm anticipating several challenges due to the lack of funding staff. As neighborhoods, communities, and property owners continue to seek local historic designation through the Metro Historic Zoning Commission to protect their architectural character and manage growth, as we plan for the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of Metro government and the Tennessee Preservation Trust annual conference, which will be held in Nashville later this year, and as we continue to plan activities to commemorate the sesquicentennial of the Civil War, which runs through 2015. As for our budget reduction, to meet the proposed 2% reduction, we would lay off a staff person, reducing that position by 20%, and we would reduce our operating budget by $2,500, cutting printing, supplies, and software licensing. And in closing, as always, we continue to look for ways to reduce cost and work more effectively while providing quality service to the residents as we work to preserve our history, our neighborhoods, and our significant places. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So in terms of the budget reduction, it's about a fifth of a full-time employee? I mean, but how do you handle that? I mean, how is...
Well, we'd have to lay the employee off. We right now have notified the employee they'd be laid off for 3 months if we take this 2% cut.
Okay. And then essentially, the employment totals at the Historical Commission over the course of, from '07 to the present, you were at 9 in '07, '08, and you've been at 8 for several years.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Right. And were you understaffed at 9, or was that proper staffing?
Well, we were somewhat understaffed at 9, and if I'm sure you've seen that before you, our brief, we've added 40% more properties since 2007. A number of districts from Germantown, expansion of districts, Eastwood, Maxwell Heights in East Nashville, Cleveland Park, those areas we've added. And we're speaking to several council people who want to expand and add new districts in McFerrin Park, Salem Town. There's a bill that's been filed that went to the Planning Commission earlier this week, which will expand the Belmont-Hillsborough Neighborhood Conservation Overlay District. So it's a tool that manages growth that neighborhoods really like.
And there's an improvement of 60,000, which is, you've made a request for an improvement to your budget?
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay, and could you describe that?
Yes. That's for sponsoring of the 2000 Civil War sesquicentennial events, the symposium, for additional printing. We're looking at updating as a part of that our book that was published 20 years ago on markers to profile the Civil War, both state and metro markers. So a portion of it goes toward that. We're asking for a half-time staff person with the increased load in historic zoning. And then additionally, we're asking for monies for printing. We supply brochures to the Downtown Visitors Center,
Right.
our walking tour brochures that are very popular. In fact, till we got money recently, they had run out of them. I hear the director there, the head of that site, tell us that it's their most popular brochure.
All right, and so all of that for 60,000?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. Well, you've been active, I know that. I think I've attended at least portions of almost everything you've done, but they've all been good, so.
We
Richard?
really appreciate that, too.
No, it's a great thing.
I'm good.
Great.
Nothing.
Well, all right, we'll do the best we can. I mean, you do great work, and I think I'm really happy to see all the outreach in the community, too. I think the Civil War, obviously, Nashville's important in that, and is, the more we understand and appreciate our history, the better, in my mind, so. I thank you for your straightforward presentation. I thank all the commissioners for being here. There will be no pay increase with the commissioners this year, but you have my thanks, and you do a great job. Thanks.
Thank you.